So right now, yeah, I'm harping on the nutritionists in our society, the holistic biohackers, energy healing world, because you have to understand what professions do, and we have to understand the actual intention. Um, I said intention. And you have to understand what pain is. So in the beginning of Jelly Juice, I had a lot of people have issues with histamine and other types of symptoms that were associated with fermented foods. And obviously, fermentation is not poisonous. It is food. It is needed. Food is food and it's needed. So why is it that people are having issues with different types of food? Where do these allergies come from? And allergies are really a type of programming in the body, okay? You could be programmed based upon genetics. You could be programmed based upon therapeutics. You could be programmed based upon your environment. But when you actually eat a food that your body wasn't programmed to accept, and you deal with pain, but you don't die, but you deal with pain, and you need to support that pain correctly, then you actually are in the process of changing your programming. So tomato allergies, histamine allergies, pollen allergies, nut allergies, all the allergies in the food supply, that's based upon a programming of the body that needs to be changed, because you should not be allergic to any food. Food is just food. But that illusion, that perception that that food is poison because of the additives and the chemicals and all that stuff, that's the illusion from the holistic allopathic world to then slip in a nutritionist who will then not only acknowledge your weaknesses and your deficits, but will enable them and make them even more pronounced. And so I am actually pointing out that the nutritionists in our society are the ones that are actually sustaining the de-evolution of their clients, of the industry. I mean, when you destroy off your clientele, there's going to be nothing left. And so you have to understand what allergies are. It's just a programming. And so when you do the J juice and you eat those types of foods that you are allergic to, you are attempting to change the programming. Now, I know I said, hey, if you're allergic, you're clinically allergic and whatever, just avoid it until you do the J juice and eventually you can reintroduce it. Either way, you're going to have to deal with that programming, that food, because that food is not poison. The food is a food. If it's FDA approved, then it's a food, or it's grown in your garden, then it's a food. So that food should not be anything that you need to avoid. If you get pain from food, it's because your body needs to now finally change its programming to allow that food to actually give you benefit. Pain is healing. I mean, I have a lady in my group who has finally been able to deal with the evolution of food because she had to plan her life around needing to give 6 hours of major digestive pain after eating food that she needs. Okay? And so all pain around food is the body attempting to change its programming so you can actually derive benefit from that food. And so, yeah, I'm going to put it out there. All nutritionists, I've made a list. And I know, it seems like I'm attacking, but you have to know who the gods of the dead are. Okay, you got to know who they are. Some of you are in those professions and you may contemplate on getting out of it, but if the money is so good, then yeah, you're part of the illusionists that are making money hand over fist on the destruction of your clientele. And so, yeah, I made a list of the government taught masters of illusion, and they're certified and they're lay selling death as life. And yes, they are doctors, they are nurses. They are caregivers because they're the ones who are going to enable the destruction of that person. Even though the person chooses to, you're still being a vehicle for their destruction. Okay? Nutritionists, integrative health professionals, energy healing world, the biohackers, the charismatic gurus that deal with the psychedelics, The herbalists, the ones that promote all the pot in the world. Hey, yeah, be a great person when you're smoking pot. Okay. The social media influencers selling remedies and a lifestyle, believing people should die someday. And then, yeah, the yoga, meditation, exercise, lifestyle influencers that are riff all over the internet. And so you really can't serve two proverbial masters because you're actively taking away. Doctors take away energy, nurses take away energy, caregivers take away energy because they're enabling your nutritionist's diet. And so, yeah, when you see the diet in an old person's home, it's like, very, just bland food. There's no real nutritional benefit in that food. They have Ensure. Okay. Who else takes energy away? From the integrative health professionals, they take your energy away. The energy healing world, they are siphoning off your energy and they're trying to redistribute energy so that way you don't feel energy or using your body to destroy your body. Okay? They take the crystals and they basically reflect back the state of your body. And so if your body's at a deficit, those crystals will reflect back the deficit and even exponentially. Okay? And then also too, the different minerals that are in these crystals can also be very antibiotic relative to what's going on in your body. The charismatic gurus, the psychedelic artists, all of the ayahuasca and all the ones that do the LSD and all that crap, they are taking and stealing your energy you would not believe. Herbalists, yes, because it's then promoting the dopamine effect. It's usurping energy out of your body and triggering the dopamine to be then a deluge. And so that way you don't feel any reality of life and evolution, and that is used to anesthetize you. And the herbals are the same way. And then social media influencers selling remedies and a lifestyle. I mean, come on. Believing people should die someday. And then, yeah, the yoga, meditation, exercise, lifestyle influencers. Oh my gosh, yes, they're all over. All the yoga people and their cute little yoga pants and their cute little bodies. Okay, you have a cute little body, but but that is also an illusion that you're healthy. Okay? And so, if you're not promoting Jeju somewhere, then you're selling a lifestyle. You're selling an illusion. And that's the thing that I have to make that line of demarcation. Either you're selling life and you're saying, okay, you got to feel pain, you got to feel all these things. And yeah, maybe you might have a little poochie. Yeah, you might have a little extra junk in your trunk. Okay, that's fine. But when you are selling an illusion, then you're selling the death process. And that is, that is what I have to point out. And I'm going to point out in my book. And so, pain is changing the programming in your body. And so, yes, when you have food allergies, it's because your body was not programmed to be able to handle that food. And now the pain when you're eating that food is going to be actively changing the programming so you can actually get nutritional benefit. But again, nutritionists will starve you until you can't eat anything, until you're like a person who cannot eat any food supply because the body is now finally shutting down. And so, I have to point out all the masters of illusions out there. And so either you're promoting life and jelly juice or you're promoting an illusion of life, which really then the outcome is death. Or you're promoting the illusion of beauty while you're suffering. Okay? Suffering does come out in artistic ways. And so, there's so many layers of illusions out there that I see. And, we either are very upfront in our intentions or we're selling something that is deceptive. And so that's what I want for my jelly juicers, is to be so full of integrity. But people will use jelly juice as a way to promote the illusions they want to put out there. It's very difficult to have actual integrity because it means that most of your audience is not going to take well from your information because you will call them out left and right. And a lot of them are in the industries of illusion. And so, it's almost like you have to choose. Do you want to be a person of integrity, or you keep jelly juice kind of hidden in your little world and you're not offering really any kind of knowledge to your personal audience? Yeah, you can offer knowledge to us, but you're preaching to the choir to us. The real test is where you're able to promote jelly juice to everyone in your world. regardless of industry. Because even if you're in a profession, you could still promote jelly juice. And you could still acknowledge that, yes, you are in an industry that does, make money off, suffering. But maybe you could change that. If somebody, does jelly juice and they've been suffering and they have a great piece of art, imagine what jelly juice, what another perspective could add to their artistic ability, or add to their writing ability, or add to whatever out there that isn't promoting some kind of really deceptive illusion. And so, the change in the world is very difficult because it does start within. It's acknowledging what illusions you're putting out there and acknowledging who you are as a person out there in the world, and incrementally figuring out what you must come to terms with. And it's going to be a process. It's very difficult to change the way you have been in like one fell swoop. So that's why doing jelly juice is a gradual evolution, that eventually you will peel back the layers of illusions and the layers of programming that has been running you and has also been destroying your environment. Because either you promote life or you promote death. There is no in between. The in between really is the illusion of life, because you'll end up in death at some point. And so that's why I say those that are in those industries, that are actually practicing those industries as a lay person or as a professional, there's no way you're going to be able to promote both sides of the coin, and so you'll be the god of the dead. And that's how humans were taught how to destroy each other, through the gods that knew that knew how to make wine, that knew how to anesthetize a body at the micro level, that knew how to mitigate evolution by destroying a virus or a pandemic. The gods, which I think are people or different humanoids that understood how all this worked, they taught us. They taught us. We didn't know this just from knowing. Nobody is born with all this knowledge. Everything is taught in an incremental way. And so, but where did they learn it from? Well, the universe has been around for eons and infinite eons. Where it all came from to begin with, who knows? That's all the speculation and the religion out there. But there's no real reason to understand where the universe came from. The fact that we have the elements that we have, and we can harness life or we can harness death. You have two options, and we can also harness the illusions of life and the illusions of death, whatever. But at least now you have a choice, and it's going to take time for you to peel back those layers. But some of you want to do JJ's and want to promote it, but you have a hard time really being honest with your own personal audience. And that's going to be the conflict, is if you can't even speak to your own personal crowd about JJ's in some way that you can do in my group, then that's going to be one of the biggest hurdles. That's going to be the conflict. That's going to be the, what is it called? I forgot. That's a term for it. The conflict of something, where you have an investment in something. What is the conflict of whatever? What is it? Hold on. Conflict. Oh, conflict of interest. When you can't promote jelly juice to your personal world, but you can only promote it to my world, but you're trying to promote an illusion, there's a conflict of interest somewhere. Okay? At some point, you're going to have to come to terms with the conflict of interest of why you can't be you in all your worlds. Why do you have to portray a certain image in this world and you don't have to do it in such an icky, sticky way. There's ways to intelligently, thank you, Odd, intelligently promote J-Juice. Intelligently promote your evolution without letting all your dirty laundry hang out. But the conflict of interest is that you have to be one person in this world, one person in this world, one person in this world, and nobody knows who the hell you are, because you are so many different things, so many different people, because you can't be honest with what you really want. You're too spread out. You're too, you're too compartmentalized. And so the integrity, what is integrity? Let's look up integrity. The integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and moral uprightness. The state of being whole and undivided. If you have to be one way to this person in this crowd, and you have to be another way to this person in this crowd, you are divided. You will have a conflict of interest, not only with Jilly Juice, but also with yourself. And I recognize that those that can't promote Jilly Juice or any kind of information on their personal Facebook, but they're so happy to do everything in the group where nobody really can see them except for 400 people who really don't give a crap, except for maybe a handful. But if you can't promote Jilly Juice or promote the knowledge that you have, that is very, very, actually, I don't even know why that would be a conflict. Why some of the knowledge that you promote in my group, you can't put on your Facebook to show not only yourself, but your family and your friends that you are evolving and you understand the connections between all things. And so the lack of integrity is also apparent because you are different things to different people and you can't be a whole person. And so that's what I'm offering is integrity, especially with the J Juice, in your occupation, in your friends, in your family, in all the circles that you run in. When you compartmentalize your life, it's like keeping up with a deception. And that can be exhausting. You know, the easiest way is to be honest in every aspect of your life. I'm honest with my husband. I don't put up a front with my husband. I don't put up a front with even our friends that we hang out with. They know I'm not going to push J Juice down their throat, but they know who I am. I am so honest about who I am to everybody in my world. I hold no fronts. I don't put out any illusion. And that's the honesty of the J Juice is going to come out is when you're able to articulate in a way where you're not afraid of what someone thinks of you. And if you are, then maybe why are you friends with them to begin with? Because they have an image and you want to be part of that image. And so you have to put up a front. Well, that's fake. And I know this is difficult because some of you are still in that world. And I get it. At some point, it's peeling back the layers. Okay? It's peeling back the layers. And so, you know, I can't be like holding back when I know people are, may probably exemplify some of what I'm saying. Because if I have to tailor my speech and my thought process because it might offend somebody, in my world or wherever, then I'm not being true to myself. Because if you don't like what I have to say or it kind of makes you feel like you have a conflict with what I say, then probably there's an evolution that needs to happen. And, anytime we don't like what someone says, it's something that we have to deal with on some level. But if you think my intention is to destroy you, then there's no trust. So if people think that what I'm saying is destructive to them, then they shouldn't be following me. They shouldn't be doing the J Juice. They shouldn't be doing anything around my world. But if what I have to say is in conflict with what's going on in your world, and you know that I am very upright and very, honest, then it's something that you're going to have to look at and figure out for yourself. But you'll do that in your own time. And so I want us to see all the illusions we put out there. Okay? That's it. What you do with it at this point, will be up to you. It may not happen for 10 years down the road where you're finally able to be honest with who you are, what you want to be, to all the circles that you reside in. And that is an evolution. When you're able to express yourself without feeling like somebody's judging you. And if they are judging you, who cares? Because you'll know how to respond back without destroying yourself and somebody else. And that takes, it does take working on yourself. But if you're circulating in the illusions out there, then it's very difficult to look at yourself because you're still living in your own illusion. All right, bye.